Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So it's been a little while since we've done one of these Q&As, and I get great questions all the time, and I sure do appreciate them. So I thought we'd go kind of jump through some of these questions, because if one person has a question, there could be several that do. So that's what we're going to do, and I've got my list here. But I want to start off with apologies for my website. I know it's still a work in progress, and it's getting better all the time. I switched platforms because the old platform was requiring people to leave me information that, quite frankly, I don't want or need. I'm not interested in your personal information. That's just not who I am. So the plans are being pushed up there as we speak, and feel free to download, and you no longer have to leave me any information. So that worked out really cool. Bear with us, and we'll work through it. And as usual in these, I'm leaving names off because I've already answered the questions privately. But I'm going to come in here and kind of give you the question and answer it out here as well. The first question up was, why don't I see tool sponsors on your channel? I've been approached by a couple, and I've turned down a couple. I work a day job, so I don't rely on that sponsorship money to do what I do. And therefore, if the right sponsor were to come along, sure, I would take it. But it's got to be a product that I use and I actually believe in, or I'm not interested in coming out and doing an ad for it. So that's why you don't really see many tool sponsors here. Next question up was, how's the new saw doing? So obviously I'm very disappointed with Powermatic for allowing that out of their doors. It still boggles my mind. The extension table, we went through 3 different tables, and in the end, I think I talked about that in the shop tour video. I ended up having to essentially rebuild the whole underside of that table myself, because the third one that came in was just as bad as the one that showed up with the saw. But really, hats off to Mark up at Northwest Tool Repair who came in here and he recognized it was bad. But between him and I, we rebuilt it, and he fixed everything else on the saw. And as of right now, man, that saw is dead on. It's a pleasure to use. I really like the saw. I knew it was a good product, but I don't know whether I just got a lemon or I don't know what the deal was. That one was not up to snuff coming out the door. Next question up, because I've had a lot of changes, right? We just did a shop tour. Are there more changes coming? And the answer is yes. And that's a very definite yes. I have actually ordered a new planer. It should be on the way shortly. I just ordered, I don't even know the yardage, what it was, gravel for a new driveway all the way into the shop. And we still have the stuff that was always on my list, but it's not pressing items, like the closet around the dust collection, and a cabinet above the lathe. All that stuff is still in play. Man, I just haven't got to it yet. And I will. I'll get to all that stuff eventually. And to head the question off at the pass, did I order a PM planer? And the answer is yes, I did. As very unhappy as I am with Powermatic, thanks to Mark up there at Northwest Tool Repair, the planer is actually coming to him first, and he's going to give it the once over before it ever rolls up to my shop door. So I'm not going to deal with those headaches. If it's wrong, he'll just send it back, and I'm not paying anything. If it's right, then I'll buy the planer. and we'll put it in here, and away we go. It's only 15-inch. I just couldn't see a need to go bigger, and it does have the helical head on it. So it is a Powermatic that's coming. The next question kind of ties into that. Pretty much the question is, am I going to replace the joiner? And the short answer is yes, I am at some point. But the question was more geared around, am I going to an 8-inch with a helical head? And the answer to that is no. I currently have a 6-inch joiner, so to pay that kind of money for only 2 extra inches makes 0 sense. So I am going to replace the joiner, but it will most likely be a 12-inch with a helical head that I go to. So, and I don't know when that's going to happen, but it will be sometime soon. Next question up. If I were buying a new chop saw today, would I replace it in kind with the Capex? The answer to that is no. The Capex is great. It's a super nice saw, but it's underpowered, and quite frankly, the dust collection, even with the dedicated CT, is not what all the hype says it is. I still do a significant amount of cleanup around the back of the saw when I clean the shop. So it probably would not be the Capex. I would be looking very strongly at the Bosch Glide to replace that saw if I were replacing it today. Okay, so the next question up was if I have any plans to replace the drill press. The drill press has obviously showed up in a few videos here recently. And, you know, as much as a new drill press, everybody likes a new tool, right? But I just can't justify changing that drill press out. It's got the foot activated switch, and it just runs great. And it does what I need it to do. So there's no immediate plans to change that drill press, but I never say never. At some point, she'll give up the ghost, and I'll worry about that then. It'd be nice to do the research on it and know if there's any others out there that have the foot activated switch, which I really like. So I'll have to do my homework on that. Next up was, on the vertical storage lumber rack that we just did. And the question came in wanting to know if I glued or epoxied in the conduit, and if not, why not? And no, I didn't. And because we put just that little bit of an angle on it, they don't fall out on the floor. So it's just really not been an issue. And to date, I haven't had any issues with those falling out or becoming dislodged in any way, shape, or form. So I didn't. And if that changes, I'll come back and I will let you know. Next one up was in the shop tour, somebody noticed the sanding blocks, and yes, those are new. And I got to give out a huge shout out to my buddy Chad on the forums who turned me on to these. And these are called the Preppin' Weapon. And they're just super easy to load. They take a third of a sheet, and I just bought strips for these, but a third of the sheet fits these really nice. And then I labeled on them what grit that I have on them, and I put them on that little shelf, and that's where they live. They're just those are a cool tool. And last up was, how's the puppy doing? And a huge thanks to the person who sent me this question, who offered condolences for the loss of our lab. That was tough. That was a very tough build. The new puppy, she's doing great. She might be hanging out the door there. She loves to come out here and hang out with me. She loves cherry. Man, if you leave a scrap of cherry laying around, she's got it. But She does not get along so well with our older lab. It's not that they don't get along. One's a puppy, one's an old biddy. So the old biddy gets tired of the puppy. So we just recently adopted another dog, and I'm actually going to pick up the new dog tomorrow. And the new dog is a rescue out of Turkey, of all places. So we have a rescue from the States and we have a rescue from overseas now. But the new dog's name is Rosie, and she'll be a nice addition to the family. She's about the same age as Bella is. So those two will pretty much grow up together and have a pretty good life. So I think that wraps up all the questions that I have. Yep. So again, I really enjoy getting the emails and the questions, and I try to respond to them all same day if at all possible. Some of that depends on my work schedule, etc. But I do answer all the questions. So please keep sending me the questions. My emails are in the show notes. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. So until next time, take care.